Alright, hey, what's up guys? So today I want to take a look at a game that's been on everyone's must-have list since it debuted at E3 in 2017. This game has been called everything from a Destiny killer to Bioware's evolution for multiplayer games. Of course, the title is Anthem, and it certainly has me intrigued, but skeptical. There are a few things at this year's E3 that made me become more interested in the game, but there are also a few red flags that were thrown up that made me question whether this was going to be anything more than a third-person rehash of Destiny. Alright, let's take a look at the trailer and what BioWare had to say about the features we will see in the game. So the trailer begins with some establishing shots of the world in Anthem. The narrator tells us that the gods have vanished and left our world in chaos, whatever that means. And we get to see the first citizen of Tarsus who looks like he's straight out of Destiny. And oh wait, the Fallen are in this game. I mean, come on BioWare, you have got to have some original ideas in here somewhere. And we also learned during the presentation after the trailer that these guys are called the Dominion. Completely different from the Fallen from Destiny, I'm sure. I'm hoping that this is not indicative of the originality present in the rest of the game. Next, we get some shots of the centralized area that will be present in the game called Fort Tarsus. From the vague explanation that was given during BioWare's presentation, this area will serve as a hub area and social space for the game, but will only be accessible in single-player mode. That sounds a lot like the social spaces to me from Destiny, like the Reef, minus the multiplayer aspect. And then we learned that the guy in the trailer used to be a hunter, I guess? So this game is taking more than just a few cues from Destiny. There has to be some former Bungie employees at BioWare right now. We also find out from the narrator that the walls of the city cannot protect them forever from the Fallen, I mean the Dominion, so now we get some shots of them creating the Javelin suits that we have seen from other trailers for the game. I will have to say that the suits certainly look awesome, and I am interested in seeing how BioWare will allow players to customize their suits. In the presentation after the trailer, they showed off footage of the colors being changed in the suits themselves, but did not go into detail about how you can actually customize them. I really hope they do not go the shader route like they did in Destiny. Next, we get to see a team of 4 Javelins flying to a mission area, I'm assuming, and we get our first shots of them exploring a massive cave, and apparently, you can go underwater. We also get to see the suits in action, cluing us into the various abilities that players will have at their disposal. While discussing their shared world, a term I really didn't want to hear after Destiny failed to deliver on its promises, the general manager of BioWare, Casey Hudson, discussed the different Javelin suits you'll be able to wear. There's the Ranger, basically your standard assault class, the Colossus, the tank of course, the Interceptor, which I'm assuming is a hunter type class, and then the Storm class, which is essentially a Stormcaller Warlock. Now, I'm all for giving players choices, and one very smart decision on BioWare's part is to allow players to wear whichever suit they would like. This game does not lock you into your choice of class like Destiny does, and players are not going to have to play the game 3 times over to experience what each class offers. I would imagine that each suit will level up independently, however, so you still have to put in the work to explore the intricacies of each Javelin. Even with these features, I'm still having major reservations about going anywhere near this title. With what we've seen so far, this could be a sequel to Destiny. We also see in this battle footage that players will have access to a standard array of weapons and grenades, but with some interesting twists. The one grenade that's thrown looks like a freeze grenade of some kind and slows enemy movement down considerably. It also looks like the Colossus will have explosive and heavy weapons at their disposal as the tank of the group. Then we get a shot of the Storm Javelin shooting a blast out of his hands at the enemy. And while I hate again to make this comparison, it's a reddish-orange Voidwalker blast. Next, we get to see a bit more shooting, and as discussed in the presentation, this is a third-person shared world shooter, whatever that means. We then see one of the freelancers lying on the ground, and she is saved by the Interceptor Javelin, hinting that this class may be all about speed and recovery. It almost has an insect-like aesthetic to the suit also. I'm sure that speed and armor are probably reciprocal in this game, so the more of one that a suit has, the less of the other it has. We then end with a shot highlighting the size of this particular enemy, who also shows up in the gameplay footage from E3. So first off, I would like to emphasize that the song Uprising by Muse was playing throughout this trailer. Could BioWare have chosen a more lame song to establish Anthem's world? No. I mean, I'd be happy if I never heard that song again, as they played it constantly when it came out in 2009. My criticisms do not stop there, however, as this game looks like it is just slapping new paint on an old model in my opinion. Do you guys remember when players were upset that Destiny was reusing assets and introducing new weapons that were just a different color of the original weapon? That is what Anthem feels like to me. An already existing asset given a new color and then branded as a wholly new product. I am not buying that for a second. We have been shown the world, the weapons, the characters, and the javelin suits, and it all feels highly derivative, a rehash of the same old things we saw in Destiny, just with a new name. The world seems to be of the same restrictive nature as Destiny's, with vast landscapes to see and only a linear swath of land to explore. The Javelin classes are your basic role-playing archetypes, but mimic Destiny in more ways than one, and the character and enemy designs look eerily like those in the world of Destiny. I just do not believe this game does enough to differentiate itself from other shared world shooters on the market. Everyone keeps comparing this game to Destiny, and in my opinion, that might actually be its downfall. It is really too much like Destiny and not carving its own original path into the genre. Well guys, that wraps up my commentary on the new Anthem trailer and Bioware's presentation this year. While Bioware is certainly a talented team, I am not seeing those talents that made them great in the past on display with Anthem. This stinks of an EA cash grab in the wake of the failures of Destiny 2, and I think there's more than enough evidence to warrant this type of reaction to what we've seen so far. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope players get an amazing new Bioware franchise to pick apart piece by piece, and not continue that downward trend started by Mass Effect Andromeda. Of course, let me know what you guys think about the Destiny, Anthem trailer in the comments below. Do you think it's too similar to Bungie's series? Also, remember to subscribe for more video game news and commentary. Until next time, guys.